Wong Lin examined the jade, which contained only a single line of writing. He pondered it for a long time but still could not completely understand its meaning, since the words could be interpreted in many different ways. He then looked at Master Ashen Pine and realized that Ashen Pine had already explored this place several times and must have obtained rare treasures, cultivation techniques, or important information here. Otherwise, he would not be so familiar with the area. The group continued along the narrow mountain path, with Master Ashen Pine carefully leading them. He only had a simple map of the region ahead and had never actually traveled this particular path. Previously, he had taken another route, where he obtained a jade and a map containing information that greatly tempted him. They traveled along the narrow path for several days, avoiding various fog beasts, until they reached the depths of the mountain range. One final mountain stood before them, and beyond it was the region they were trying to reach. The green-robed old woman, Zhao, remained calm and indifferent, barely looking to either side. Wong Lin repeatedly observed her but could not determine what she was thinking. He only knew that her name was Zhao. However, he noticed that although she followed Master Ashen Pine, every step she took was extremely precise. Many restrictions covered the area, although most had already collapsed. Even so, Zhao always stepped on empty areas or places where the restrictions were weakest. Such movements appeared to be an ingrained habit and would not change simply because the restrictions had weakened. It was a subtle detail that would be difficult to notice without being a restriction grandmaster. Old Man Pang followed closely behind Master Ashen Pine but deliberately kept his distance from Wong Lin, clearly harboring great fear of him. Eventually, the road completely disappeared. Master Ashen Pine frowned and began pondering how they should proceed. Above them, the seven-colored light still covered the entire sky, making it impossible to distinguish between day and night. Suddenly, powerful fluctuations of origin energy came from the distance, attracting everyone's attention. Wong Lin's eyes lit up as he looked several mountains away and saw fog violently churning in the sky. The fluctuations also contained a force capable of shaking the soul. Master Ashen Pine immediately recognized it as Chen Tianjun's spell. After a long time, the fluctuations disappeared and the fog gradually became calm again, as if nothing had happened. Old Man Pang sneered and said that Chen Tianjun was probably dead because he had refused to listen to their warnings. He stated that the seven-colored realm was not a place where one could move about freely, since the paths changed every time, and anyone who did not understand the place could not casually enter or leave. Master Ashen Pine then put Chen Tianjun's matter aside and told Zhao that he had checked the area and believed restrictions were blocking their way. He asked her to help determine how to break them. Zhao had already examined the path and silently nodded. Master Ashen Pine again mentioned that Duanmu cultivator had been taken by the Lost One. If Duanmu were still present, he could have used his Dao to temporarily stop the restrictions from changing and assist Zhao. Zhao admitted that most of the restrictions here were ones she had never encountered before and that she had little confidence in breaking them. She walked to the end of the path, where there was no road at all, only mountains. The only apparent way forward was to climb the mountain, but dense fog covered it and completely sealed off the route. Zhao placed her hand against the mountain rock, and her eyes immediately revealed a strange light as she carefully examined it. Wong Lin remained calm and withdrew his gaze. He sat down and began cultivating, intending to maintain himself at his peak condition in preparation for any unexpected danger. After some time, Zhao's expression became increasingly serious. Her eyes changed repeatedly before she finally frowned and asked Master Ashen Pine whether he was certain there was a restriction there and why they could not simply climb over the mountain. Master Ashen Pine explained that 7 fierce beasts were living on top of the mountain. All of them ranked 12. They had previously attempted to climb over it from another route and suffered heavy casualties without being able to pass. Later, he discovered a map indicating that a passage existed through the mountain, with its entrance located exactly where they were standing. Zhao pondered for a moment before retreating 2 steps. She formed a seal with her hands, producing overlapping afterimages that eventually formed a complicated rune. The rune landed on the mountain rock. Wong Lin's mind trembled, but he deliberately pretended to glance over casually. As soon as the restriction touched the mountain, the rock's surface appeared to melt, producing ripples like those created by a pebble falling into a lake. However, the ripples were actually composed of countless tiny incantations, and an ancient, decaying aura emerged from the stone. Zhao retreated several more steps, formed additional seals, and pointed several times at her chest. 7 strands of gas containing enormous vitality flew out from her orifices and surrounded her body. After taking a deep breath, she stepped forward. With 3 steps, she unexpectedly sank into the mountain rock. The ripples became increasingly intense, and the rock turned transparent, allowing Master Ashen Pine and the others to see a massive stone tunnel inside. However, beyond the entrance, everything was completely dark, and even their gazes were swallowed by the darkness. Once Zhao entered the stone, her face became pale and her body began distorting as if she were being squeezed by an unimaginable force. Faint popping sounds came from her body. She closed her eyes and cultivated briefly before continuing forward. With every step, the trembling of her body became more violent, while the ripples surrounding the mountain multiplied. The ancient aura also transformed into an increasingly powerful pressure. After another 3 steps, Zhao's eyes became bloodshot. She formed a seal and pressed it forcefully between her eyebrows. Her wrinkled face underwent a shocking transformation. Most of the wrinkles rapidly disappeared. Her body seemed to rejuvenate, and she became a mature woman of around 40 years old. Although she was not exceptionally beautiful, she possessed the grace of a mature woman. She took 2 more steps, but when she was about to take the 6th, she suddenly coughed up blood. Unable to withstand the pressure any longer, she retreated from the mountain. She only stopped when she reached Wong Lin's side, and her face immediately returned to its aged appearance. Zhao bitterly identified the formation as the 9-step heaven ceiling formation. An ancient formation she had only seen in historical records and never encountered in reality. She explained that anyone capable of placing such a restriction must possess restriction mastery at the peak. Wong Lin carefully looked at the mountain rock, but after Zhao withdrew, it returned to its normal appearance, making it impossible to detect anything unusual. Zhao further explained that the formation had been damaged by the passage of time and had therefore lost its offensive ability. But its sealing power remained completely intact. With her current cultivation, she could only take 5 steps. Any more than that and her body would be unable to endure the pressure. Master Ashen Pine frowned and asked how they could break the formation. After taking some pills and beginning to recover, Zhao answered that they needed to take the 10th step to break it. Master Ashen Pine pondered for a long time before finally gritting his teeth. He summoned a set of black devil armor that covered his body, causing dense devilish energy to fill the surroundings and making him resemble a devil god. Since he had already come this far and was unwilling to abandon his 1,000 years of preparation, he declared that he wanted to see how many steps he could take with his cultivation and the armor. He then ordered Zhao to open the formation. Zhao formed a seal and pointed forward. A restriction flew out and landed on the mountain rock in front of Master Ashen Pine. Ripples appeared again, and the rock became transparent. Without hesitation, Master Ashen Pine stepped inside. His mid-stage Nirvana Shatterer cultivation erupted, and immediately after entering the rock, he advanced 4 steps. Every step produced a thunderous boom. His face gradually became pale while dense devilish energy surged from the armor. After the 4th step, he paused briefly, but then his eyes lit up and he unexpectedly advanced another 3 steps. By the time he completed these 3 steps, his face was extremely pale and his body was trembling faintly. Nevertheless, he clenched his teeth, roared, and forced himself forward again. Reaching the 8th step, when the 5th step landed, popping sounds came from his body and blood appeared at the corner of his mouth. His eyes became bloodshot. He had spent 1,000 years preparing for this opportunity and was unwilling to be stopped by a formation. He continued to force himself forward. Old Man Peng's eyes revealed a trace of excitement, while Zhao's eyes also lit up, though her thoughts remained impossible to read. When the 9th step landed, Master Ashen Pine suddenly felt as if he had slammed into an enormous wall. A terrifying force struck his body, causing him to cough up blood and violently ejecting him from the stone tunnel. He was thrown several dozen feet before finally stopping. Master Ashen Pine stared at the mountain rock with a pale face. His eyes contained both madness and ferocity as he declared that if he could not enter, then none of them would be able to leave the 7-colored realm. At that moment, Wong Lin stood up, calmly brushed the dust from his clothes, looked at the scattered pieces of devil armor around Master Ashen Pine, and said, "Let me try." Wong Lin agrees to help break the formation after noticing the madness hidden in Master Ashen Pine's eyes and realizing that something extremely important must be inside. Master Ashen Pine accepts and relies on him, while the old man named Pang secretly looks down on Wong Lin. believing that if even Master Ashen Pine could only endure 9 steps with his devil armor, Wong Lin could not possibly do better. The old woman in green activates a restriction on the mountain rock, making it transparent and revealing ripples in the formation. Wong Lin enters the rock and secretly places an invisible restriction as he does so. Once inside, he immediately feels immense pressure from all directions, with the pressure becoming increasingly powerful as he advances. He takes 3 steps, and by the 3rd step the pressure has already reached an astonishing level, resembling countless mountains pressing down on him. Although Wong Lin possesses the body of an ancient god and can withstand the pressure, he deliberately shows signs of extreme difficulty and stops at the 3rd step before continuing. He takes the 4th, 5th, and 6th steps. At the 6th step, the pressure becomes overwhelming, as if countless hands and spells are pressing down on him. His face turns deathly pale and his body trembles. When he appears ready to retreat, a force suddenly emerges behind him and prevents him from going backward. Outside the formation, the old woman in green notices a change in the formation. While Master Ashen Pine carefully observes Wong Lin and begins thinking about his own experience at the 6th step, the old man named Pang instead believes that Wong Lin lacks cunning and has overestimated him. Wong Lin remains at the 6th step for a long time before advancing to the 7th. He coughs up blood but refuses to retreat and then takes the 8th step. The pressure causes his flesh and bones to make cracking sounds, and large amounts of blood spray from his body, staining his white robe red. Master Ashen Pine becomes alarmed and moves closer to observe him, while the old woman in green also becomes serious. Wong Lin's body appears twisted under the pressure, but he raises his right foot and takes the 9th step. His body trembles violently, the veins on his face swell, and his eyes become bloodshot. Yet he manages to stabilize himself. Master Ashen Pine becomes excited and tells Wong Lin that only 1 more step remains. The old woman in green carefully observes him and cannot detect any sign that his injuries are fake. She realizes that the formation has changed and that Wong Lin can no longer retreat even if he wants to. Wong Lin then warns Master Ashen Pine and the old woman in green that he has already done his best and may suffer serious injuries. Master Ashen Pine promises that he will not forget his agreement. After appearing to hesitate, Wong Lin takes the 10th step. The instant his foot lands, the entire mountain violently shakes and roars, while rocks fall from the mountain and alert the fog beasts above. The 9-step heaven ceiling formation collapses. Wong Lin coughs up even more blood, and the force released by the collapse pushes him out of the mountain. Master Ashen Pine immediately approaches and places his hand against Wong Lin's back. He sends his origin energy and divine sense through Wong Lin's body, examines him once, and quickly withdraws. He confirms that Wong Lin is genuinely seriously injured and therefore no longer considers him a threat. He also avoids killing Wong Lin in front of the old woman in green because doing so would make her highly suspicious and create unnecessary trouble. At that moment, beast roars suddenly erupt, and a hawk-like beast charges out from the mountain toward them. Master Ashen Pine grabs Wong Lin and rushes into the tunnel revealed by the collapsed formation. The old man named Pang and the old woman in green immediately follow. The group travels through the tunnel for a long time until the beast roars can no longer be heard. Master Ashen Pine puts Wong Lin down and expresses his gratitude, saying that he will remember Wong Lin's willingness to suffer serious injuries to open the formation. Wong Lin explains that the formation was extremely strange because after he took 6 steps, a force appeared behind him and prevented him from retreating, leaving him with no choice but to continue forward. Master Ashen Pine sincerely acknowledges Wong Lin's contribution and gives him pills to help him recover. Wong Lin accepts them but does not consume them, instead taking his own pills and beginning to cultivate. The old man named Pang reveals a trace of coldness in his eyes, but Master Ashen Pine silently signals him not to act. After some time, Wong Lin opens his eyes and stands up. He states that his injuries cannot recover quickly and suggests that they continue moving. Master Ashen Pine agrees, while the old woman in green sighs inwardly but says nothing. The 4 of them continue through the quiet tunnel, with only their footsteps echoing around them. After traveling for an unknown amount of time, they see light ahead. Master Ashen Pine suppresses his excitement and moves quickly toward it. The light marks the exit of the tunnel, beyond which lies a large valley filled with vegetation and the faint fragrance of flowers. Behind the valley stands a huge mountain range resembling a city wall, with towering mountains blocking the outside world. Master Ashen Pine explains that after crossing the mountain range, they will enter the inner part of the realm, while Sima Mo's cave is located in a valley before the mountains. He quickly flies forward with the old woman in green following him. Wong Lin, whose face remains pale under the increasingly intense seven-colored light, follows after taking a deep breath. The old man named Pang stays close behind him. Under Master Ashen Pine's guidance, the group soon reaches a valley containing Sima Mo's cave. The cave is covered with grass and clearly has not been used for a long time. It is small and contains only 3 rooms, while the ground is scattered with pills, most of which have fossilized and would crumble upon being touched. Master Ashen Pine shows little interest in the cave and declares that he will take nothing from it, allowing everything to belong to the old woman in green and Wong Lin. The old woman in green spreads out her divine sense and refuses to take anything, saying that Wong Lin has already paid a heavy price and should receive everything. Wong Lin looks around and says that he cannot continue with them because the quiet place is suitable for recovering from his injuries. Master Ashen Pine agrees that Wong Lin should stay and heal for several days. He promises that after he and the old woman in green return, they will give Wong Lin what was promised and leave together. Wong Lin thanks him and nods. However, Master Ashen Pine points out that the place, despite being quiet, may still contain fierce beasts. He then asks the old man named Pang to remain behind and protect Wong Lin while he and the old woman in green continue onward. In exchange, Master Ashen Pine promises to give Pang part of what they find as payment. The old man named Pang immediately agrees. Wong Lin frowned when Master Ashen Pine asked whether he was dissatisfied, but he remained silent. Master Ashen Pine then accepted fellow cultivator Lu's agreement and left with the old woman in green, assigning the old man named Pang to guard Wong Lin. Before leaving, both Master Ashen Pine and the old woman exchanged meaningful glances with Pang and Wong Lin. After they departed, Pang smiled gloomily and told Wong Lin to continue cultivating while he guarded him. He then presumptuously scanned Wong Lin with his divine sense, confirmed that Wong Lin's injuries were real, and began searching the cave. After searching the 3 stone rooms and finding many treasures, Pang returned with an expression of delight. He reminded Wong Lin of his previous warning that careless words could invite calamity. Wong Lin calmly repeated the warning, believing Wong Lin was genuinely injured. Pang laughed viciously and attacked him, explaining that he had deliberately waited until Master Ashen Pine and the old woman were far enough away so the attack would not be noticed. The moment Pang's hand approached, coldness flashed in Wong Lin's eyes. Wong Lin seized his hand with his left hand and crushed it, then struck his chest with his fist. Pang's body exploded into flesh and blood, while his origin soul escaped in terror. Wong Lin immediately drew out an iron sword and slashed the origin soul in half. He crushed one half and absorbed its origin energy, while the remaining half was left powerless in his grasp. Wong Lin demanded that Pang open his storage space, promising not to kill him if he complied. Pang, terrified and near death, opened it. Wong Lin severed Pang's connection to the storage space and took everything inside. Although Pang protested that Wong Lin had promised not to kill him, Wong Lin forcibly searched his weakened memories and then stored his nearly dissipated origin soul away. Wong Lin deliberately chose not to kill him because Pang had a close relationship with Master Ashen Pine, who might possess Pang's life token and immediately notice his death. Wong Lin preferred to avoid exposing his plan. Pang, a Nirvana Shatterer cultivator, possessed hundreds of thousands of celestial jades, 50 to 60,000 origin crystals, and large quantities of herb and pill recipes. More importantly, Wong Lin found 2 maps and a chant for leaving the place. The maps concerned the 7-colored realm and contained detailed routes, including locations where celestial jades could be fed to fog beasts in exchange for origin crystals. However, Pang's memories did not reveal Master Ashen Pine's true objective. Pang only knew that many beast souls were sealed in the relevant location. Wong Lin also learned other information about the 7-colored realm. Among the items Pang had obtained from the cave was a short sword that had been stabbed into a beast skeleton in the 3rd stone room. Wong Lin summoned the sword and sensed an unusual, familiar aura from it. Although he could not identify it, the sword was sealed, so its true power could not yet be determined. The skeleton belonged to a small, deer-shaped beast with completely black bones, many of which had recently crumbled into dust, apparently because Pang had removed the sword. Wong Lin found the situation strange. The cave was not Sima Mo's cave, and he wondered why such a powerful sealed sword had been left embedded in the skeleton. From Peng's memories, Wong Lin learned that Master Ashen Pine had merely found this cave at random and had never intended to bring him to Sima Mo's true cave. Sima Mo did have a cave in this region, but it was somewhere else, and Wong Lin now knew its actual location. Unable to discover more clues from the skeleton, Wong Lin put away the short sword and prepared to leave. Before departing, Wong Lin noticed a ring lying among the flesh and blood in a corner. He remembered that it was Peng's beast treasure, obtained from the seven-colored realm, which Peng had never had the chance to use before Wong Lin killed him. After removing the blood and examining it with his divine sense, Wong Lin discovered that the ring contained a 9-layer seal. Peng had opened 7 layers and obtained partial control over the ring, while more than half of the 8th layer had already been broken. Wong Lin erased Peng's imprint and replaced it with his own. Using his knowledge of restrictions, he easily shattered the remaining portion of the 8th layer. The ring immediately released a 5-colored glow, with 5 rays of light circling Wong Lin and forming an extremely powerful shield capable of preventing spells from approaching him. Wong Lin realized that if Peng had opened the 8th seal, he would not have been able to kill him so easily. He then stored the treasure away. Wong Lin looked outside the cave with cold intent and immediately pursued Master Ashen Pine and the old woman in green. He did not spread out his divine sense, keeping it wrapped around his body while following a strange connection through the valley. The route he took was exactly the same route Master Ashen Pine had taken with the old woman in green. Wong Lin thought that he could not allow them to wear his scattered devil armor without paying the price. Wong Lin hurried through the grassy valley toward the distant wall-like mountain range, occasionally stopping to sense the correct path. After about a day, he reached a valley near the mountain range and discovered an 18 plumflower restriction hidden beneath the grass. The restriction had been placed only a day earlier, apparently by the old woman in green as an ambush and warning. It was derived from the annihilation restriction, one of the 4 great ancient restrictions, which Wong Lin had inherited in all heaven, allowing him to break it easily. However, Wong Lin sensed that the restriction was more complicated than it appeared. After carefully examining the area with his divine sense, he noticed black light similar to the strange black gas the old woman had used to absorb the dragon's vitality and enter the 9-step heaven sealing formation. He realized that the method of generating vitality from endless death aura was similar to the life and death restriction, another of the 4 great ancient restrictions. The grass beneath the restriction was already losing its vitality, and within several hours the restriction would activate completely. Wong Lin concluded that the old woman had hastily left it there to absorb the vitality of the vegetation and activate afterward. Instead of destroying it, Wong Lin used his annihilation restriction to leave his own imprint on it and secretly take control of the restriction before it fully activated. With both the annihilation restriction and life and death restriction combined, the trap could seriously injure even Master Ashen Pine if he entered carelessly. Wong Lin then cautiously passed through the area and entered the valley. As he climbed the steep mountain, he recalled Li Yuan's explanation that when the world was born, laws appeared, and after countless years some laws developed into restrictions or formations. Above the heaven, earth, mysterious, and yellow ranks was the abstract level, which was divided into the 4 great ancient restrictions: the annihilation restriction, life and death restriction, ancient soul restriction, and mysterious time restriction. Most celestial restrictions had been derived from these 4. Li Yuan had also told Wong Lin that mastering and fusing all 4 great ancient restrictions could allow one to comprehend the abstract realm, the peak of restriction mastery. Although no one throughout countless years had ever achieved it, Wong Lin stopped thinking about this and concentrated on sensing Master Ashen Pine's route. Half a day later, Wong Lin reached the highest point of the mountain beneath the 7-colored light. The wall-like mountain range formed a ring separating the inner region from the outside, while dense fog concealed what lay within and gave the area the appearance of a dangerous black sea. Wong Lin sensed that Master Ashen Pine was inside the fog, so he immediately descended the mountain and rushed toward him. Meanwhile, Master Ashen Pine, wearing the divine devil armor, cautiously advanced through the fog with the old woman in green beside him. Surrounded by black gas, Master Ashen Pine believed that Lu should already be dead and that Peng Dekai, who was skilled at soul-searching, must have gained a valuable harvest, especially the War Spirit print, one of the God Sect's great spells. He also expected Pang Dekai to arrive soon. The old woman asked how far they were from the place Master Ashen Pine had mentioned, and he replied that it should be just ahead. They soon stopped after discovering a blurry giant statue hidden within the fog. As they approached, they found a huge boulder over 1.000 feet tall carved into the shape of a man looking toward the sky, with a lightning-like mark between his eyebrows. The old woman in green was startled when she saw the mark. At that moment, an eerie and erratic voice emerged from the fog, seeming both distant and close while carrying a force that penetrated the soul. It spoke of the enlightened ones, prisoners of the heavenly Tao, all sentient beings enduring immeasurable calamities, escaping the deep prison, awaiting the path of cultivation, escaping heaven's will to obtain the path to life, and sealing heaven's will while engraving the dark days. The strange words echoed through the fog and caused Master Ashen Pine's face to turn pale. The old woman's origin soul trembled and her Tao heart became unstable as the words continued to echo in her mind. When she asked who the speakers were and what the words meant, Master Ashen Pine identified them as the enlightened ones. A shadow suddenly emerged from the fog and passed rapidly between them, causing the strange voice to enter their minds again. Master Ashen Pine explained that the lost ones had lost their Tao and wandered the seven-colored realm in confusion, blindly searching, while the enlightened ones possessed Tao but had seen the Tao scripture, causing their Tao hearts to collapse so they could never reform them. They could only wander endlessly through the fog, possibly already dead, leaving behind only Tao souls formed from their lingering will. When the old woman asked about the Tao scripture, Master Ashen Pine revealed that he had never heard of it before entering the seven-colored realm, but had discovered countless clues about it after arriving there. According to him, the seven-colored realm contained a Tao scripture rumored to have been formed from the blood of heaven. The old woman was shocked by the terrifying implication that the strange words they had just heard were related to this Tao scripture. Master Ashen Pine revealed that his true objective was to see the Tao scripture, while the beast souls were only secondary. When the old woman in green, Zhao, questioned the difficulty of reaching it because many enlightened ones were present, Master Ashen Pine recalled the saying among their generation, "Those who seek Tao are born in the morning and die at dusk." It is enough. The two then advanced into the fog. As they went deeper, the strange, unpredictable voices became increasingly loud and caused their minds to wander. Suppressing the sound required tremendous effort, and every step felt as if a great army were pressing down on their minds. Despite his pale face, Master Ashen Pine was excited. After 3 days in the fog, they continued onward and, on the fourth day, vaguely saw a small mountain about 10.000 feet tall appearing and disappearing within the fog. A black light restriction surrounded it and blocked their path. Master Ashen Pine asked Zhao to break the restriction, explaining that the mountain sealed countless beast souls and that she could obtain them once it was opened. Zhao examined the black light and recognized it as a time restriction that became stronger the longer it existed. Because she could not determine its age, she had no confidence in breaking it and regretted coming there. Master Ashen Pine then produced a black spiral marked All, the ancient strange treasure known as the restriction-breaking All. Zhao recognized it and said that although 4 such Alls would be enough against a young time restriction, this ancient restriction left her only 10% confident. Master Ashen Pine then took out a palm-sized piece of black wood carrying the aura of a pseudo-nirvana void treasure. Zhao calculated that this raised her confidence to 40%, though she said the war spirit print would have raised it to 50%. Master Ashen Pine next produced a bright crystal with what appeared to be flowing fresh blood inside it, releasing an extremely destructive aura. Zhao judged that with the 3 items, she had 70% confidence. Master Ashen Pine accepted this and handed all 4 restriction-breaking alls to her, telling her to use the treasures whenever necessary. Zhao immediately began forming restrictions. Black gas moved with her seals, and she infused it into the first all before using blood from the tip of her tongue to send it toward the time restriction. As it approached, the black light distorted under the force of time, causing the all to tremble and begin disappearing. Zhao shouted for it to break, causing the all to release blood-red light and drill into one corner of the restriction. She then sent the other 3 alls into different corners. When all 4 were embedded, the black light restriction roared and its ripples became chaotic, disrupting its balance. Zhao then formed another seal and pointed between her eyebrows, spitting out black gas. Her wrinkles rapidly disappeared, and she transformed into a beautiful woman around 40 years old. She directed the black gas toward the center of the restriction, where it formed a vortex and collided with the black light. After a heaven-shaking rumble, she ordered Master Ashen Pine to use the black wood. He threw it into the vortex and pointed at it, causing the wood to tremble before collapsing and releasing an enormous destructive force. The resulting impact pushed the fog away in all directions. Zhao immediately controlled the destructive force with countless restrictions and directed it toward the black light restriction. Although the restriction shook violently and developed more ripples, it did not break and instead produced a rebound force that destroyed the first restriction, breaking all. Without waiting for further instructions, Master Ashen Pine threw out the crystal. When it approached the restriction, he activated it, causing it to explode into an enormous storm. Zhao gritted her teeth, formed another seal, and pointed between her eyebrows again. More black gas poured from her body, and she transformed into a beautiful young woman around 20 years old. She controlled the black gas as countless restrictions and merged them with the destructive force from the crystal, directing everything toward the black light restriction. A tremendous rumble and cracking sounds followed, and a crack appeared in the restriction, but it quickly began closing. Master Ashen Pine, unwilling to stop, took out another item, a jade token that truly possessed the aura of a pseudo-nirvana void treasure. Unlike the previous two treasures, which merely contained some of the aura of such treasures and could therefore be sacrificed, this jade was a genuine pseudo-nirvana void treasure, making Master Ashen Pine extremely reluctant to destroy it. Zhao was shocked by how many such treasures he possessed and realized that he was willing to destroy 3 extremely valuable treasures just to break the restriction. Master Ashen Pine clenched his teeth and shouted, "Shatter!" The jade entered the crack and collapsed, releasing a force far stronger than the previous 2 attacks. A massive storm spread through the fog for tens of thousands of kilometers. Although the black light restriction still did not shatter, the crack expanded to about 100 feet, and its recovery slowed considerably. Master Ashen Pine immediately rushed into the crack without waiting for Zhao. The young woman followed him inside. Shortly afterward, a ray of light emerged through the fog and transformed into Wong Lin. He examined the crack but did not immediately enter. After placing a large number of restrictions outside, he then rushed into the crack as well.